Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Pardon their sniffles. Weather is changing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, 'tis the season to get sick. Sorry, I'm doing something off screen. I just realized that I've been sending a URL to broadcast on YouTube and YouTube Gaming. And instead of YouTube Gaming link, which could be causing a problem for streaming inside the level and everything else that I was trying to do here, this is the link that goes directly to my live stream. And I've been trying to figure out how to do the YouTube no cookie and all this stuff for setting up the media inside. And I'm wondering, since this is actually the YouTube video link for the embedded video, I still don't know how I'm going to get this information here inside of the actual game for streaming. Got somebody else looking into another way of doing this, but I'll go back in and try this later. So we'll do Control C on that one and try replacing that. I'll try this later. Sorry. Alright, just kind of pick up where we left off on the side scroller thing. And like I said, these are things that you can do on side scroller or regular. Went ahead and added background sound to it, so birds chirping and stuff like that, so it's not as dead of a map. So right now this is just a sample map of putting different things into the map that you can test out. So these are just BSB geometries that I've kind of reshaped, and first obstacle here is mud pit with a spring pad to get you out of it. This is a spring pad to throw you up onto a ledge. You can jump over here, and you got a weird obstacle here which you actually have to bump into and knock over, and then you can come over here and blah 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 blah. So let's actually add some other things in here. I did have a cannon and some other stuff in here as well, but let's go ahead and add those other things in here. And one of the things I'm still kind of tweaking around a little bit, and I changed right after I finished streaming last night. I did a change on it. Was the checkpoint system. And what it was doing is it would check to see if you've already accomplished meeting the checkpoint. And if you have not, then it sets a respawn. So as you're running through here and say suddenly you die, and change the key around too, it respawns you back at the start location, because you have not changed your respawn location. But now if you come to the map and you accomplish certain things, and then let's knock that over, come over here, change our checkpoint, and now if you continue on with the map and you die, it respawns you back at your last checkpoint. Well, and here's the thing is, let's play it one more time. Now if you're running through here and you die before you make your first checkpoint, it actually resets the map. And I'm gonna have to change this because the idea of that is great if you're gonna stick to single player, but I want to make this a multiplayer if need be. So see, I haven't made, that's the checkpoint. So if I haven't made the checkpoint yet and I die, you see I've knocked a bridge over. And what happens is, now that I've died before there, so that I have to go back and interact with that puzzle or whatever to get by. In this case the puzzle is just the bridge. Now I have to knock the bridge back over again. Then I can hit the checkpoint, and then if I die, it goes back to and respawns at the checkpoint. Lovely. Now we also had a cannon in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the cannon back in. However, I have made some changes, and I'll go back through and I'll show how each of these were made as well. And let's go ahead and spin the cannon around, put the dangerous side towards us as we're coming up here, and let's put our cannon trigger right there in the path. And I'm zeroing out the first one so it keeps everything in line with where we're walking. So now we have that. There's not enough things to kill us in here, so let's actually go ahead and drop in Oh, I don't know. How about a spike trap? And now I've angled that one. So let's actually put it on a non-angled surface, just so it looks better. So put the spike trap in here, and I'll zero that one out. I'm going to drop it down just a wee bit. Spike trap. You're walking through. Oh, crap. And it killed us. So I haven't set the automatic respawn, so now if you hit your key to respawn, then it teleports you back to the start. You can go back over again, and then you got to jump. Oh, no. I got to fix the collision box on there because it's a little bit too big. So give me a good chance to actually look at it and show you what it looks like. It is the spikes and the metal grate from the Dungeons pack. Kinda cool. So I need to go ahead and get the trigger box, and I'm going to make that 0.5. So it's not quite as tall. We just want to barely trip it. We want to be able to jump over it. So we get up to it, we can jump over, and it's still catching us. So I'm actually going to shrink it down just a hair, and we'll make it 3 by 3. So hopefully we don't catch our feet on it, and if it continues to be a problem, I'll just take it out, and there we go, and we're able to jump over the top of it. So what I'll do later is I'll add in a trigger for this, but I've got some barrels. So say if you walk through right here, you can trip the barrel. Ooh, crap. Well, we got shot by the cannon, but we didn't see the cannon do it. We didn't see what killed us. Now, I wouldn't necessarily put it right there anyway. So for now, let's actually get it all the way up here close to it, so we can see what's killing us. All right, jump. Oh, we didn't make it. So for right now, let's go ahead and get rid of that. And again, I'll go back through and I'll show you how I made these. And if you got any ideas for any other traps and stuff like that, let me know, and we'll put them in here. The mud just simply slows you down as you're walking. Knock you down. Walk across, set our checkpoint. Look over here, and ooh, the cannon just blasts us right in the chest. Okay, so other thing is, let's grab an exploding barrel, and it's already on 0. But you can see it's sticking into the ground a little bit. We don't want it to stick in the ground. We're just going to raise it up just a little bit. Hey, what is this barrel rolling towards me? Yes, I know, I haven't changed the sound yet, but the barrel will explode on contact. So it's already there. What I need to do is actually set it up to where it automatically resets or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out a trigger system for it. I mean, there's also another barrel that zero that one out. That does not explode. So let's actually put that one in here. I'm going to raise it up so that gravity is going to cause it to fall. Uh-oh. Exploding barrel. I know that's a bad guy. Oh, crap. Well, the other one there. Oh. We can knock it around a little bit. Then we've added in a pain pad and a first aid kit. So we come in here and, oh no, we can see our health went down and down and down. So let's go over and get a health kit and raise it up. And it vanished. Oh, there it is. It respawns. The respawn is set really short, and I need to do some repairs on it. You can see it respawns and it's not working. I'll fix that here in just a few moments. But just little gadgets to add in here to kill our player, cause damage, things of that nature. Alright, save all, save selected. Alright, the first one is just the barrel, and that's it. I just add the barrel in to a blueprint, and I went in here and select barrel, scroll down, simulate physics, and there you go. Could probably add some mass to it and see if that helps a little bit with the performance of it rolling. Even though it's not quite round, it's good enough to get us rolling down the hill. But that's it. That's it for the regular barrel. The exploding barrel is a little bit different. It is a different barrel. You get the barrel, and I've added a box collision to the barrel itself, and I've made sure that I added this right here. So add mass to that one as well, see if it'll help. And the box collision is bigger than the actual item itself. So what happens is on begin overlap, it casts to the player, gets the world location from the barrel, it plays a sound, and this of course is on component begin overlap. It spawns an emitter at the location, which is the explosion. The shotgun sound, like I said, I will add some better sounds here shortly, but it's not been an important thing. It's just getting functions working, features working. It applies damage. Apply damage to the player base. The amount of damage is 1,000. Our player only has 100 health, so it's going to kill us completely. And then destroy actor, and that's it. Now, one quick note for this. Let's see if it. Oh, I took the barrel out. With the explosion loop is actually coming from the City Studios. Ooh. Oh crap, we're dead. And I'll have to fix it to where we actually go onto the ground whenever we die. But the City Studios Battle Royale pack, the particle effects, the one for explosion is on an endless loop, and if you can trick it into only working and going through one time. However, if you open up the particle effects, you've got the 3 different types of emitters here. You got fire, smoke, and rubble, which is really cool. But you click on required. You click on this and click on the big yellow required up here. Scroll down. Emitter loops was set to 0 as it comes from City Studios. Well, change that number to a 1 and then hit save. Click on this one. Change this number to a 1. Click save. Click it over here for the rubble. Click 1. Click save. You have to change this and manually hit save, and then you can do the next one. If you don't, it's not going to change any of them. It just, you have to manually save across the board after you change emitter loops to 1 on all 3 other requireds for the individual item. Pain in the butt to figure that out. So Draco helped me out on that one, but still rather pain in the ass. Going back to the gadgets. Again, pardon for the sniffles. The sniffles. The cannonball. I made a change to the cannonball. And what I did to it was I added a box collision to that. Probably could have stuck with a capsule collision. It would have been fine, but it doesn't matter the shape. It's still going to kill you. You know, you're not going to see the box anyway. So, and I made sure that that was attached to the cannonball. So it's just a box collision attached to the cannonball. And on event begin play, set lifespan to 3. What that's going to do is whenever you spawn that cannonball, it's only going to stay on the map for 3 seconds. So if it fires, it doesn't hit anything, and falls to the world, you don't have a stray actor just sitting there forever clogging up your map. It's just going to automatically remove itself after 3 seconds, or whatever time you put into right there. So with the box collision for the cannonball on overlap with the cast2 player underscore base, which is my character, apply damage 1,000 because I want to ensure that I kill my player. You get shot with a cannonball that's the size of your head, it's going to kill you. So that's what we do. And then we go in here and we set our we get a reference to our health and subtract the amount of damage from the return value here, and then we set the player's health to that value of their original health minus the damage, and then we destroy actor. So it gets rid of the cannonball. Pretty simple. Moving to the med kit, we'll save for the last because I got to fix it. Pain pads, simply same thing. Whenever we step on it, it just gets a reference to our health, subtracts 25, and sets our health to that. It's a very simple system. Spike trap. This is the cheap and easy way of doing it because it's so fast of a snap that it seems like it's instantaneously anyway, because it is instant. The other way to do this is with a timeline, so you can actually make it slower go up and down. But what I've done is on overlap and end overlap, casting to the player naturally. I set a slight delay whenever you first step on it of 3/10 of a second. So when you first step on it, it doesn't go off. It waits 3/10 of a second, and then the spikes go up. And all I did was I set the world location of the spears, which is here, and I put the spears down below. Normally, when you just pop them into the map, into the blueprint, they're going to be above. So I just lowered them down to where they're just sticking, not sticking through the grate. So if you walk over and you look at the grate, you don't see the spears because they're hidden underground. So as soon as you step on them, it gets a reference to the world location. Do vector plus vector and add 225 here, and then plug that into your new location. But when you end your overlap, what you do is you subtract 225 and set the new location. So it goes up and then it goes down. It goes up and then it goes down. It just snaps in place. A timeline could go right here or here in place of the delay, and you could actually cause it to go up and down slower. Not worried about it for right now because, again, making them functional, and then I'll go back and work on them. The med kit. It is on overlap. You cast to player underscore base, or your player character. You're going to get a reference to your health. I've got the heal amount set here. So what happens is this is the amount you can change. Okay, I wanted to heal for 25, so that's what it's going to do there. So you're getting your player's health. You're adding 25 to the player health and setting your player health there. Where it's breaking here, I'm going to actually go back and delete this stuff because I want to redo it, see if I can wrap my head around why it's actually not working. And what I want to do is I want to set up some variables. Let's start off with this being blank there, and let's create a new variable. Can use. So now we have a new Boolean variable called can use. And first off, we want to cast to our player. So let's come in here and throw in a branch. And what I want to do is, if it's true that I can use it, then we want to do all this lovely stuff. If not, it's not going to do anything. And to set that, we could always just do, all the logic in here. And we're going to move this stuff. And how do we know if we can use it or not? Well, instead of doing it just as a can use, let's actually do it a different way. I'm probably going to need that branch anyway, but I'm just going to grab this stuff and I'm just going to chuck it out of the way for right now. What we want to do is we want to get our health, and then we want to, since we're at 25 for our health, it doesn't really matter. We just want to see if our health is less than 100, which is max health, what our max health is going to be. Now, if our health is less than 100, then we'll put that branch back in. then we could always do the same thing here, and let's put that branch back in to build a condition. So what we're doing with this branch node is plug that in here. We're asking still, can we use it? Yes, if, we're at that point. So what we're going to do here is we're asking if our health is less than 100, and if it is, then this is kind of redundant. Set can use to true, false, can use to false there. So it's kind of a redundant thing. It's just checking this first. In fact, I'm actually going to delete that. Yeah, I do that a lot. I put something in, take it out, put something in, take it out, put something in, take it out. So from here, we got all this information down here. So let's actually, what are we going to do with it? If we can use it, then let's just go ahead and simplify things and make a custom event called heal. And on this heal, what we want to do is that stuff. Utilize those variables from up above. And I'm just going to try to make it a little bit neat here. Oh, I love these info tags. And then from there we can go ahead and compile and save, and then heal. Good doggy, heal. Okay, and at the end of our heal, then it's just gonna do nothing. So for now, we're gonna make it go ahead and disappear. But what we're doing here is we've established whether or not we can use it or not. If we can use it, we're going to set can use to true. If not, we're going to set it to false. Kind of not really necessary to put that in here, but we're just going to check that anyway. And then if we can use it, we're going to heal. And then we want to go ahead and get a reference to our medkit and to our box collision. Now, the reason why I want those is because what I want to do is disable it, and I want to make it invisible. But one thing I also want to do is I'm going to go into my viewport, and I'm actually going to raise the medkit up ever so slightly so it's not touching the ground. And I also want to make sure that I have no collision on this. So compile and save. There's no collision on that medkit whatsoever, so we're not going to bump into it. We're not going to step on top of it. But what I want to do here is I want to set, well, it's actually, you know what, we can add this in as part of the heal custom event, but it's going to be weird, and make another custom event. Okay. Spawning, because that's what we're going to do here, is we want to take this and we want to grab these two variables, and we are going to, at this point, we're going to make it disappear, and then we're going to make it reappear. So from here, we're going to actually get a reference to the med kit and set visibility. Okay. To leave this unchecked, which is now false. And we want to go to our box collision and deactivate. So we want to turn that bastard off so we can't just sit there and step on an invisible medkit. And then let's put in a delay of around 5 seconds. And then again, set visibility, this time to true. And our box collision, we want to activate. So now we are good. Since our med kit doesn't have... You asshole. I selected both of you. Alright, so now we compile and save, and then come back over here to this, and we'll type in spawning. Lar. So what'll happen is it should not do anything if we don't need it. So let's make sure we zero that out. And let's add our pain pad back in, so we can inflict a little torturous pain. Alright, so we're in here, and oh no, you see our health bar, it went down, went down, went down again. And now we can come over here to our med kit, and we can walk back and forth over it. It's not going to keep healing us, and it still did. Oh, you are such an asshole. Alright, so I come over here, and then just blow myself up with a damn barrel anyway. So, I walk over it, it disappears, it should not heal me, but it still is. Why are you still healing me? I have turned off visibility, I have turned off the ability for this to work. I've deactivated it right there. Well, let's deactivate. Usually worked for a lot of stuff, and has always worked for stuff, but now it just wants to be an ass wipe and not work. Let's deactivate, because if I come over here and just type in deactivate, I have nothing selected here. But if I have it selected and deactivate, it's just not seeing the box collision. Alright, so deactivate, even though it came up for it, and activate isn't working. So we need to oh, why must you be a pain in my ass? Well, it's not going to be visible in game anyway. We don't need another surefire way of getting rid of it. Only because deactivate and activate always worked before and just now does not. So, why? Because Unreal Engine 4. The puzzles, you know, this is just like playing a damn game, is trying to figure out the puzzle of what actually works now. Yeah, it's something that actually always worked. So let's actually just reconnect this crap for right now. And it's turning off the visibility correctly. So you can see we're damaging ourselves there. We hit it and it disappears. Let's get that out of the way. So let's damage ourselves, heal ourselves. But I want to go ahead and damage myself quite a bit. So I heal myself, and then the box collision is still actually working. Even though it shouldn't. It shouldn't do anything at all right now, because we don't need it. So, the visibility portion is working correctly, but the box collision itself, about to sneeze, so... Excuse me. So, yeah, deactivate has always worked in the past. in doing this. This is not my first time doing this. You would think that it was would actually work. So activate. There's a set active. Let's actually well, we know that deactivate isn't working. So let's try this and do the same thing. Control C and Control V and put that into the target. Bring this down over here. Something that used to work all the damn time just doesn't work now. So it shouldn't do anything now. And let's... we're dead. Now see, it fell on top of it because it knew I needed health. But it was too late. I was already dead. So now it's still working. God, you suck. Again, this is something that's always worked, and it's always been something that I do, and now it just doesn't work. Toggle active, you know? It's there, you know? So I'm going to try a few different things here. If it doesn't try after a couple tries, then I'm just going to skip this and go back to something else here. Alright, so bang, we're dead. I gotta do some more fine-tuning on the dead thing. Again, not that big. See, I'm dead. I should be, for all intents and purposes, I should be dead. But you can see the blocks collision is not deactivated. It's still working. I didn't set a bottom limit, a 0 health, and death on 0 health yet. Right now, I'm just worried about a max cap not going over 100. After I get all these little things done and tested, I'll switch back over and actually set a minimum health. And if you reach 0 health, then you go ahead and die at that point. So what the hell else could you actually do in order to disable this thing? Collision. It clears. Set collision enabled. I mean, that in theory is the same basic thing of deactivating. And who knows? You know, you're actually overlapping instead of actually colliding with it. So this in theory shouldn't work. So there we're damaged. That shouldn't work, but it is. Okay, so just need to go ahead and, since we know that it is working even though it shouldn't, let's go ahead and try it back on. So now, we're dead. Let's go ahead and damage ourselves a few times here. Yay. So you see, it is not working at all because it's not there anymore. As soon as it respawns, then it works again. But it does not work whenever it's not there. As soon as it respawns, I can come back and get some more leavening and get my health back up. And there we go, we're back to full. So now that we're back to full, we can't go anymore. And to show that we're not able to pick it up, that's the thing, is it didn't go away, it didn't do anything to it. And if we wanted to make it even more special, we could add rotation to it. I just can't believe that set collision enabled works and it shouldn't, and deactivate and activate didn't work. Okay, so that or that. Let's get rid of the barrel for now. Like I said, this is just for testing things. Let's actually save all. this map is called level 1, so let's actually go to test map. So this is pretty much the same thing here. Got first aid kit. I'm just using this as a testing platform for things like, okay, there's the pain pad. Oh, there's death. And then we can do the pain pad, first aid kit, shoot our face off with a cannon, and using this for causing damage. So I have all these different Cindy Studios assets. Let's actually come in here and we're dead. Oh, let's get over this barrel and oh damn, we're dead. So yeah, we have all these gadgets I've shown. The checkpoint system, essentially all it does goes to, on the overlap, it casts to the player, gets or sets a variable called respawn checkpoint, and sets a respawn checkpoint to 1 or yes, because what we're wanting to do here is the default value of respawn checkpoint is just 0, 0, and the actual elevation of 100. So it's 0, 0, 100 on the transform location. Rotation's not even taken into account on it. And it's getting the arrow of this as the rotation, or the actual transform location for your spawn point. So the reason why we have checkpoint 1 was the whole thing of setting to where if you're going through your map and you die before you reach checkpoint 1, it's always going to respawn you back at your original spawn point. But it'll also, it can be used to, which I'm going to change, but it'll let you actually reload the map. It's reloading it from scratch. So I believe that's all of those. The cannon trigger was a pain in the butt because what we ended up having to do here was cast to our player. We're not even using the on trigger anymore, so I don't really need that. And the way this one's working, I need to change it because it's actually getting all actors of class. So if there's 25 of those cannons, it's going to fire all 25 of those cannons when we run this event. Doesn't matter if they're the ones we're triggering or not. This trigger actually activates all of them, and what I want to do with that one is actually set it up for if you want to do a naval battle and you want all your guns on one side to fire at once, then you can set it up to do this. So it's getting the muzzle arrow, which is the actual static mesh does not have a socket ability to create a socket like a skeletal mesh would. So I added the muzzle in there, muzzle arrow, and the arrow now becomes the muzzle spawn location. So we're going to get the world transformer where the muzzle is in the trigger. We're going to spawn an emitter. And one thing I wanted to do was I want to change the scale of that. Let's go 3 by 3 by 3. So make it even larger. Auto destroy on that one is set. Playing a sound, which is for now the shotgun sound. And then spawn actor cannonball. That's it. So let's actually go in here and play. I wanted to turn up that. Yeah, it's a little better. The cannon muzzle flash was too small before. Looks a little better now, to me at least. Ugh. Damn your exploding barrels. Oh, damn your spike trap. Oh, never mind. So yeah, what other fun ways can we actually kill our characters and cause unfortunate amounts of damage? So the asset packs that I've got here for right now is Battle Royale, Dungeons, Explorers, Pirates, and I'll probably end up adding more. And what it is, like in Battle Royale, I went through the props. There's our barrels, the ones that I use there. There's actually a bandage. I could set up the bandage as a small form of healing. There's a first aid kit here, and then a larger med kit. So I could set those up between the three to give different levels of healing. I see a padlock with the shackle on it. Technically speaking, if you wanted to do that, you got 3 different keys. So you can walk around until you find the key, and then it allows you to unlock the thing. Or you can shoot it, and maybe the padlock will break and pieces fall on the ground, whatever. Bottle of pills, you can also use that for healing. Propane cylinders, you can make those explode if you shoot them. The idea of that being, if you create a destructible mesh for a wall, especially like on a side scroller, you run against that wall and like, well, how do I get through here? Well, require the player to go through and find a set of explosives and then drop the explosives down there at the base of the wall and detonate them. You can do that. Some lighting props. Yeah. So let's actually look at dungeons. Have plenty of stuff we could use that's dangerous. Not materials, monkey boy. Mesh. Props. So let's start from the very top. You've got some barrels. Okay. A fire, like a bonfire. So you step on it, it burns you. Well, that's one thing. There's wall chunks there. We could use those as part of a destructible mesh system. And individual bricks. Cauldron, if you fall in it, you boil. Treasure chest, always a fun thing to have chests you could loot. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different treasure chests there. There's a coffin. See that being fun, of actually having a coffin that is actually a spawn location for zombies. Whatever. Stove, big metal heavy door. There's a ladder. I need to work on a ladder system. I know how to do it, just haven't done it before. I'll save that for off camera. Let's see here. Yeah, regular spikes. Put that in the blueprint and do that for a damaged player thing and kind of stuff. There's a trap door. You got the frame for it and then the individual doors. And what I've done before in the past was set it up to where inside the blueprint the door actually it disables collision, or I'm sorry, enables physics when you step on it. And let's see if we can actually do that just for the heck of it. So let's go ahead and create a new blueprint class. We'll call this an actor and trap door. Oh, that's why I get up there. So let's go back over here to our props. Find the frame for the trap door. Let's come over here and add component, static mesh, frame. Okie dokie. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. Since these are static meshes, they'll work with one way that I want to do it. So let's actually go in here and now we want left trapdoor and add component. And left door. Now, if you notice, for some reason the collision has changed. It's, yeah, in the wrong spot. So we could do this 2 different ways and just say the heck with it and slide it over. And that would be the easiest thing to do. Or we could actually go in and change the pivot point. So let's drop that in there. And then we need the other door. And we'll call that our right door. So now we'll take it and drag it over here. So now we've got the 2 doors, and let's go ahead and take a look at it on the map. So then go ahead and get rid of the cannon. We know it works. Get rid of the med kit. We know it works. Get rid of the pain pad. We know it works. Exploding barrel, other spike trap, whatever. So let's go ahead and throw that into the map. Our trapdoor. And let's set that to 0. It splits in the middle. That's good. And we just want to raise it up to where We can step off onto it. Just a little proud of the ground. And that is close enough. So we go in and everything's lovely. We can stand on it. Everything's good to go. It has normal collisions. But let's actually see what we can do here with fixing that problem. So go into here, add another component of a box collision. See, it's really tiny. So let's actually go ahead and stretch it to fit the trapdoor. We don't want it to be super huge. And let's actually, no, get back on you. Bring it up just so we can stand on it. Now, we have to think about how we want our trapdoor to actually work. And actually, I want it to work off of closer to the middle, and then bang, it works. So let's actually take that collision and let's shrink it down. So it's actually only going to trigger when we actually hit the box anyway, but we want it to have a smaller section. Let's actually make it 3 by 3. Now, the one thing we want to do here is we want to go ahead and set up a test system in it. And let's go to the event graph, delete everything, and for now, right-click on box collision, begin overlap, and for now, we want to make sure that it's the player, so cast to player underscore base, which is my character. When the player steps on it, we want to, and we're going to get a reference to our box, and get world location, and we want to place out at location. I want to confirm that it's actually working and that we're able to get in the right sweet spot for the actual thing. So we're just going to do the click. So now whenever we're in here, we walk over here, and so it about right there. So as we're approaching the center, that's when it's going to activate. So that works for me. What we want to do is let's go ahead and grab a reference to our left door and our right door. And the quick and easy way is to, if we look at our left door, we can see that simulate physics is disabled. So how can we simulate physics? Set simulate physics right there. We already have a left door reference. Bite me. So let's go to right here, and we want to set simulate physics for both of them. And checkbox. So in theory, if they're simulating physics, they should just fall straight out, right? But problem being is they're probably touching each other. So if you look at the door, this is a left or right door here. Yeah, see they're actually touching inside there. So the problem with this trapdoor system is, let's see here. This one's at 240. This one's at 240. Let's make sure we zero that out. And I'm going to grab both of these guys, and I'm going to lower them down just a little bit. So you got some hinge action going on there anyway. So let's try lowering it down just a hair, and you can see that they're actually inside of here. So yeah, it's going to be a problem. Now this should just drop both of them down and not actually work the way that we want. Fall, you bastard. So for now, what I'm going to do is lower both of them down completely, so they're actually not touching. We want them to fall. We just want them to go the hell away. This is going to break how it's going to look, but we're just testing functionality, and you see they just fall away. So that's what we want. And we fell pretty damn quick, didn't we? So, that's what the problem is they're actually touching the framing up there. So as soon as we actually, put them in here, they're inside the frame. So I guess one thing we could do is shrink them down a little bit. Let's scale them to 0.9. And let's see. That's probably a little bit too much. So 0.95. Hell, let's try it at 0.99. We just want them to not be touching the inside. So if you look, we need to make sure they're not touching that. So that's 225. And that would make this one to be negative 225. So now see how they're overlapping? We don't want them to overlap each other, so let's grab both of them again and let's try 0.98 and just kind of experiment with it until we get them to just not touch. Damn. So 0.92. Well, let's try 0.93 and let it ride. So now I'm going to bring them back up. See if that helps any. It can be a pain in the ass trying to deal with some of these things like that. See, they're still touching, so they're not going to actually work. And are they touching on the sides? What's the hold up here? So yeah, it looks like they're touching a little bit on the sides, so I'm just going to change this to yeah, you're just going to be a pain. And we'll just make that 220 as well. Negative 220. No, ass clown. And we're going to shrink them down one more time. That's just annoying as crap, but I'm going to leave it like that. I want them to not be touching so that it will fall apart. Wow, you just absolutely suck. You're touching on the far ends. So we'll try this at 0.92. Nah, screw it, we'll leave it at 0.9. I don't care. And we want this way to change now, so we'll do that at 0.9. And that should get it away from that wall drastically. .98. We don't want it touching anything, because once we get it to fall free, we can actually do something else to it to make sure that they look like doors falling instead of just falling. There we go. So they're falling free, and we need to find a way of killing our player at that point. So we could actually put spikes down there at the bottom and make them actually kill the player. But let's go ahead and go to the next part of it. So since we have them falling, that's lovely. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this, instead of it falling into nothingness, I'm going to set it right here so we have some controlled falling. So the player should be able to jump on top of it now and activate it and not fall through the world. You can see they fell. No problem. And actually, it's probably just good to go ahead and kill the player. I don't care. So we just want it to be easy to get to and easy to kill our player with. So now we come over here and it falls out. So now what we want to do is actually make it to where instead of it falling directly out, let's add some physics constraints in. So let's go ahead and physics constraint. Let's call this left PC, because we're going to duplicate it so that we have two identical ones. So we want to go ahead and just kind of put it in between the two of them. And I want to put it over here for this hinge. Now, constraint 1 is going to be our base, which is frame. This is our right door. Ugh, they're backwards. So let's actually drag this over here so that we're working on the right door. This is the left door. So this is going to be our left physics constraint. Now, we have frame here, and we want left door in bone number 2. And now I'm going to take this and Control C, Control V, and we're going to call this our left PC 2, and drag it over here so it looks like the other hinge. So now we have two physics constraints, and let's see if they actually work. So what we want to do is now act like a hinge. And it didn't. Alright. Again, this is, you get disable collision, bone 1 and 2. Okay, I think I got these in the wrong location. So let's put this as frame and this as, here we go, left door. There we go. See it highlighted in red and highlighted in blue. So that's where I wanted to make those changes. So this will be frame, and this will be left door. So now it should be working. And it's just a matter of putting those in the right location. So now we step on it. It's kind of hard to see because we're falling all the way through, but let's actually go ahead and solve that issue. So we're not falling. We can actually look at it. Go to geometry, box. We'll do 500 by, screw it, 500 by 100, and zero that out. And we just want this to be just below it, so we can actually stop and see that the thing is working correctly. Boom. You can see this door actually fell open. So it's a little bit more evident. Let's actually take this and rotate it. So now, as we're walking across there, dunk, we can see that one actually stayed. Let me back up, bastard. We can change the location of the physics constraint so that it actually pivots better, but you know, this is going to be good enough. You're going to be falling to your death, so I don't think you're really going to care that, oh, that hinge is off by a micron. Yeah. First world problems, right? So now that we have those two taken care of, let's go ahead and add in another physics constraint. And we're going to call this our right PC. And now, again, we're just wanting to, I know, we're like way down there. Center it up this way. I'll have to check my other two to make sure they're in the right location. And this one, since it's our right PC, we want frame and right door. Control C, Control V, excuse me, Control C and Control V. Thank you. And we want this to be right PC 2. And let's drag it over here to the other hinge. Just like these two guys, because they're too low. There we go. So now we can see that those should be working correctly. So now when we step on it, we have a hinge effect. Yay. I'm actually going to lower that floor down just a little bit more. So there you go. You just created a trapdoor effect with hinges. Now you see how they stop there? That would be the location of the hinges. And yeah, our elevation is set to 30. Let's actually lower them down. Try it at 15. Yeah, they're all the same height, so being at 15, let's see where the hinge point falls. Moving the physics constraints will actually move the hinge location. So you see that almost let us go all the way down. And that's actually probably going to be good enough. So if we fall through, we're not going to be able to get back up. Like, oh no, we're done. We fell. We're dead. So at that point, what I would do is take this floor, lower it down just a wee bit more. And that's where I would come back in with props like, oh, I don't know, the spikes. These guys. And for right now, I'm just going to throw it into the map so you can see what they look like. Then I'll go back and actually, we can see that they're all right. That'll be okay. So let's dump those, and we can make spiky trap. Go to my gadgets, blueprint, actor, spikes. Open that up. We're done with our trapdoor. Actually, no, we're not. Let's open the trapdoor back up and do one more thing. Trapdoor. Let's get a reference to our box. Get world location, because we've got to have sound. Sound is everything. So bring your buttocks back over there. Bring them right there. And this. Play sound. And I will change the sound effects later, guys. I only put a handful of sounds in here, and they're going to get the job done for now. So yeah, let's just put the whack sound in there, whatever. And I haven't set the sound attenuations up yet either. Okay, that's good enough. So let's go back and finish our spike traps. So our spikes. Go to our props, find our spikes. Here we go. Go back in here, add component, static mesh, and see, there we go. So we'll call that spikes. And next thing I'm going to do is no collision. Compile and save. Add a component of a box collision. And let's bring it up. because we want you to feel the love and admiration that these spikes are going to give your rectal interface. You know, that's good enough, and just make sure it covers the whole spikies. So now you can feel the love. And of course, we're going to do this and get rid of all that. Again, we're going to right click on our box event, on component begin overlap. Drag off from other actor, cast to player, learn how to spell, you moron. So we've cast it to our character. And what we want to do here is, and I'm also going to get a reference to my box, because I'm going to play a sound. Get world location. So what we want to do is move that out of the way, because we're going to come back to it. We want to get health. No. We want to, let's just apply damage. And from applied damage, we want to connect our player to damaged actor. Set the amount of damage we want to do to 1,000. 1,000 is a surefire kill. It's going to kill our guy 100%. There's no recovering from this. And we want to... do we want to do anything special for these? Well, we definitely want to play a sound, and that sound is going to be the splat sound. Lovely. So, just going to grab all that into one little neat bundle. We're going to apply that damage. That's going to kill our player. Although I don't have all the rest of my death stuff set up yet, so. So now we want to go ahead and put our trap down. Spikes. Put that at 0. Now if we fall over into that spike trap, it killed us instantly. So it doesn't kill us instantly. Let's do this. Break you, grab you. I want to apply the sound first. And before I apply the damage, I want a delay. The only reason why I want that delay is I don't want to die instantaneously. I want us to be able to make it to the bottom of the spikes before we're actually dead. And then I want to do something a little bit different this time. See if I can come up with it. So I actually want to make these spikes 2 by 2 by... No, I don't like that. That's good enough. With that, size-wise, we'll just make 2. What I want to do is make it to where it's a little bit more grotesque and gruesome. Probably need to move this over just a little bit. That's the good thing about testing, is you run through and you test things, and we need blood. We need some gore. We need some nastiness. Let's see here. I need a Sprite. And not the lovely tasty beverage either. Let's go to my textures and blood splatter. I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to Sprite actions, create sprite. blood splatter 01 sprite. So now, whenever I do this, I want to we need a reference point on our player. And let's actually grab our player. What is a good spot? Because if we do this, when we fall down, we're there. After our delay, we'll wait for about 2-second delay, and then we need somewhere around the back, I think. We want something around midsection, like right in here. So let's add a component in. We're going to add a scene component. And let's try socketing it to spine 2. I just wonder. I've never done it this way before, so let's just, whatever, let's give it a try here. We want to add paper sprite component. Alright, so it's going to want a transform. We can handle that. And target is going to be the self. No. We haven't renamed the scene yet, so it's still called scene. And let's go ahead and do it as the self being the player. And let's get world transform and plug that in there. And I said I wanted a 2-second delay in there. So I want it to actually spawn at that location of the player and the player's back. New. It didn't do it. Yeah, didn't do it. I don't know if it's trying to and it's just not there. Because what's going to happen is I want it to spawn that sprite. Thanks, bud. Just kind of screwing around with this one right here. This is trying new things, and that's the thing is when you're creating these games, you got to come up with some new stuff. And what I'm trying to do is I want to add a blood pool around my corpse. I know it sounds kind of lovely and gruesome, but if I grab this, you can see that's the sprite, and it's sideways this way. So we go in here and we can see we have that. It's kind of hard to get it because it's, you always want it to be elevation of like 0. You want it to be like 1. You know, you see I've got it too high right there. When you're adding sprites in like that, -4 should put it right there on the ground for me. So you can see I can walk over it and it doesn't affect my movement, but maybe a minute amount. So what I want is I want that blood splatter to form after I have died. The problem being here is I don't like the scene component. And I just told you to delete. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So, let's get rid of the scene component. I've used to use scene component quite often, and it's just not working anymore. So let's go ahead and go back to mesh, add component, arrow, and again, I had that socketed to spine 2. And let's turn off real time. So now it's sticking to the top of his head. I want to change that arrow so that it's actually pointing forward. Let's grab the arrow again, and I do it 90 degrees. It should be there. I want it to spawn underneath him and be visible on the ground. So let's go back to the spikes here, and I don't like the name arrow. Blood. Let's put that there, and that's actually, for right now, let's... Ooh, shit. Yeah, let's just try it this way and see if we can get it to work. From a player, let's get out here and get blood. And there's our transform. And I want you to die in a gruesome, bloody manner. Where the hell's my blood? You bastard. So, let's try an experiment here. And troubleshooting stuff. Let's keyboard oh shit, what? B. Yeah, that sounds good. B for blood, right? And let's get a reference to our blood. Well, and here's the thing is, let's actually delete that. And let's go back in here and delete there. And delete there. Now, let's go back into our player. Instead of it being an arrow component, let's actually put the damn thing in there. Let's add a component. Click on the mesh, add component, and paper sprite blood. Damn it, we can see some damn blood now, can't we? And I'm just going to rename that to blood. Now I'm going to socket your ass to spine 2. Which I don't like that. That's just... we'll see. We'll see. It's a little bit large, a little bit offset. I didn't make this. I downloaded it. So and it's just a quick made sprite. Let's make it a little bit smaller. 0.8 by 0.8. 0.8. I'd actually want it a little bit farther over, but no, you suck donkey nuts. I don't know if I'm going to like it being socketed to that spot. I may just go ahead and do it like this. We will see. Oh God, you suck. Really? Why are you not going in the direction that I want you to go into? What are you doing? You're just like totally not going anywhere in the direction that I want you to go in. Oh, none of these coordinates are actually right. I want to move left and right this way. So let's actually do it this way. up and down. Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you doing this? You know what? I just want to slide you over a little bit. That is not the direction I told you to fucking move. You know what? I want you to go backwards. That is not backwards. That is not the correct direction. Oh, shit. You know what? Fuck you. Just go right there. There's got to be another way of doing this, so... And I will come up with a different way of doing it. I just want that to be... I don't want it socketed... It's actually not even socketed to the mesh. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it. And then I'm going to add that component back in. Add component... Scroll down until we see our sprite. And now it's not socketed to anything. We're going to call it blood. Since it is not socketed to anything, it is just there. Now I can position it wherever the hell I want to and rotate it correctly. And move it correctly. In the directions that I semi want to move it. Okay, so that's good enough. So it's there, and what I was doing was with this keyboard blood, we actually want to scroll down here while we have blood selected and uncheck visible. Compile and save. Now let's make sure that it's not visible. See, we don't have any blood. Lovely. And then we go back into our player and we get a reference to our blood. Again, not the best way to do this, but I don't care. I will come back and make it perfect and lovely and everything else later to true. We hit the B key and we just want it to become visible. There, blood, see? You can see how it's just a little thing behind us. And we don't care about turning it back off. We know that works. Compile, save, and go back to our spikes. Come back to our player. Get blood. Get the world transform. And... no, we don't need a world transform. We need to... and actually, it would be a lot easier to actually pick up a location from the socket, get socket location or whatever, or get it transformed from that, and actually spawn it on the ground instead of trying to spawn it on the player. So that would probably be better anyway. This is just a stupid way of doing it. So, yeah, after thinking about it, yeah, it is absolutely, totally just screwed up here. What the hell was that all about? So, yeah, alright, so forget the whole blood thing for right now. The idea of it is actually to wait till it's actually the player's on the ground. Why are you auto-killing here? I didn't change any of this shit. You play the sound, you have a delay, then you apply damage, and you know what? Screw it. Set is dead to true. It is not cooperating here. It's supposed to just open up, and it was working just fine. Now those are being total dipshitty. Okay, I had to force myself to be dead, and just broke something. Why? Because Unreal Engine 4. Shit, I don't need that friggin' delay right there. What was working a few moments ago is now broken. Let's change that to 1 full friggin' second. Why is it totally freaking out now? It wasn't doing that before. And just now, suddenly, it decides it's going to go ahead and freak out. So let's go ahead and get a reference to our... where's our reference? Get character movement. Deactivate. So shit that was working just fine a few minutes ago is now broke all to hell and back. Let's go back into our player. Delete that blood sprite. That might be what's causing it. So what I want to do is just, yeah. So what's causing it, and it's instant killing my character. It's not supposed to instant kill. There's a delay of a full second before it applies damage. You know, you gotta love Unreal Engine 4. When you're doing something and then suddenly it just decides to quit working. So, you see the spikes. There's no way that these two are interfering with each other. So, come over here and now that they're open, force respawn myself because I told it to. And now what? Play and editor start time. Shutting down editor. Reason for failure, invalid URL. Okay, so one thing I forgot to put into this map because of the way I was doing the other thing was player. Whenever I had this forced respawn system by hitting the R key, it's actually that is fine. It's because I had this system in place for a different respawn to force reloading the level, and I don't have the current level in here. So if I go in here and go to blueprints, open level blueprint, and let's cast to player underscore base. Let's get player's testicles, get player character, and from that we need to go ahead and set current level. What is the name of the level? We are in a level called test map. Well, let's actually go ahead and create a variable. Level list. And let's grab this, and it is a level list. And we're going to compile, and yes, we could have just put in the freaking name of the damn map and got it over with, but still showing the data things. You grab this, you get a reference to your level list, and drag that off, you break it, and this is test map. So I'm going to grab that, throw it in there, and compile and save. And now, if I force respawn and cause it to go back into and respawn the map and reset the map. So that's a full reset. But I want to just R to reset without reloading the level manually. Why is it automatically applying damage? There's no reason for it to actually be automatically applying damage at all. Spikes. I mean, seriously. If I get rid of all this, and this, then that's what would happen is, and did you decide to get, you know, there's no collision. Can player step on? No. Make sure that's on there. This is how that would work. We're going to instantaneously play the sound file of Splat. We're going to put a delay in of, we'll leave that 0.2 in there. We want a slight delay. We want the character to get all the way to the bottom of the friggin' spikes before they're just dead like that. And then we are dead, so you know, we have to do either a regular respawn at this point, or we can do a forced respawn. Why was there a delay? Which actually resets the entire map, reloads the level from scratch. So, yeah, since Unreal Engine's acting a little bit on the weird side right now. There we go. So we'll respawn, and we can see that it's there. But if we do the force respawn, it kills us off and respawns the entire map. There we go. So we can try jumping over the obstacle and going from there. Ah, we made it across alive. Yay. So that's that. So we're going to hit save all, save selected. That was test map. Let's go to the other map just so you can see level 01. We could add that spike strip in there, or trap in there, or whatever we can add. But we did add in the pain pad so that we can damage ourselves. We get a medical kit that vanishes when we use it and then respawns 5 seconds later. And then we can go pick it up again. Now, another real quick thing here. I'm going to go back into the gadget for the first aid kit. I like first aid kits that rotate. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. So let's actually grab the med kit, and I'm going to rotate it. It has no collision, so it's not like we're going to walk into it. I'm going to stand it up, and I'm going to lean it at about 70-degree angle, or 60-degree angle. It sounds good. And let's go ahead and raise it up a little bit. And add component, rotating movement. Lovely. Compile, save. Now when we go in here, it's actually rotating. It's elevated, and it looks much more cooler. We don't need it, so we can't pick it up. But holy crap, we're damaged. Oh no, we're hurting. Now we need it, so we can go by and pick it up. And it does not work until it respawns. And there we go. Now we can use it again. It's not working because it hasn't respawned yet. So lovely. We've got our mud pit, works lovely. Launch pads work great. Got a little gap to go over there. We got our bridge we have to bump into and knock over. Come over here. We set our news checkpoint. I got to fix the sound file. It's not looping. And then For all that, we get up here and get shot in the face with a damn cannon. So a regular respawns me there at the checkpoint. Ha! I jumped over your ass. Now I can't jump over you, so I gotta go back this way. And then still get shot in the friggin' back. And a force respawn will actually do the same thing. It just, because it's set to detect whether or not you've made that checkpoint or not. But an actual force reloading of the map would actually cause it to... You see my health is 0, so I don't have that one set right. So, medkit works, spikes work, trapdoor works, everything else works. Got all these different death shit going on, and at some point I'm going to have to come back in here and readdress all of it. But I'm going to do the R for right now, and the R is for respawn. It's going to get my respawn location. It checks to see if we're dead. Sets our health back to 100. It activates our character movement, sets our location to the respawn location. That's cool. But here's the thing, is I'm just going to screw around with something for just a moment. And what I want to do here is, whenever your player dies, and now I haven't gone through, and I got to do something that's going to be boring for just a moment. Let's go to the pirates. So it's on the bottom. Go to meshes. Go to characters. Oh, we still got to activate our shark. So we has a shark. Would you frickin' go up there, you piece of crap? I know the background color, it's not easy to see it. We has a shark. We have an emanation. Get your ass up there. I had this same variable thing set to always go up there, and now it's just not working. It doesn't remember my settings. So we see we have a basic animation for a shark. So we could still set this up as a roaming AI, and he'll just swim around. Could put pawn sensing on, so whenever it sees you, it can come after you and then bite you and do damage or whatever, you know. But it's cool to have a shark, and you also have the fish that are in there as well. All right, so this is a bunch of other stuff going on here. I'm just, yeah, screwing with things for right now. Let's do keyboard B again. And when we hit the B key, we want to die. We want to kill our character, but we want to do it in a unique way. And one of the things that I have not done is go in here to all of these, and this is going to be boring. Sorry. I'm going to have to grab all of these characters now and select all of the skeletal meshes for all of these characters, because at some point I'm probably going to use them, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm doing all this so that I can get one particular frickin' mesh to work, and it's the skeleton. So with all of those characters selected, I'm just control left clicking, go to skeleton, assign skeleton, and then I'm going to select my polygon skeleton, and these guys have IKs, whereas some of the other ones don't. Then you have to hit OK. So now as you're clicking through here, you can just select your polygon skeleton, and if it has like anything special, just click OK, and it's going to add those in automatically to your existing skeleton. I think those should have been left to the user to add, but it's okay. Fortunately, this takes a little while to go through and do this for all of them. I'm not going to do this for all the asset packs that I have in here. I've already got a good working one from the Explorer pack. I just wanted the skeleton, and unfortunately I got to go. I don't have to, but I'm going to go through all this for all these characters. So later on, as I'm doing a full character selection, I can have the ability for you to either unlock new characters, If I want to sell this game, then it could be premium content where I don't want to be just the normal dude like everybody else. I want to be something cool like a clown, or I want to be a pirate, or I want to be a cowboy, or I want to be a woman, or, you know, I want to be an alien, or I want to be a robot, or whatever, you know, and give the player options of what character they're playing, or the option to give me money to allow them to be whatever the hell they want to be. Either or. Money's good. I like money. Alright, we're just about done here. And if you get bored doing this, and it is a slow process, character skeleton 03. So, yeah, this was the last one. Maybe it wasn't, because that's skeleton 02. Maybe it's just totally screwing with me, because there's skeleton 1. So it decided it was going to go backwards there. So now I hit save all, and now I have the skeleton. So what this save all is done, go back into my player now, and for just random testing, I am going to get a reference to my mesh, and I'm going to get a reference to my hair. I'm not going to change that one at first, just because I'm going to be goofy as crap here. And then I'm going to get out of here and take a break for a little bit. I'm going to set skeletal mesh. Drag this up here. So we press the B key. We want to set our skeletal mesh to skeleton 01. There we go. For now, I'm not going to get rid of the hair. You can see our character has hair by default. So as we're running around playing, we hit the B key, and now we're a skeleton. So that's cool. We can trigger that event, and what I want to do is set it up to where certain events might actually, like, you get hit with a flamethrower and it burns all your flesh away, and all of a sudden you're left with a skeleton. And then, blah, you do the death animation. You respawn, you're back to this guy. But if you notice, I don't know if you can see it or not, because I didn't turn off the hair, his hair is still on the skeleton. That's good or bad, but you know what? I can actually go over here to this. That's why I grabbed a reference to the hair. And I'm just going to do set visibility and leave it unchecked. So now it's going to turn off the hair whenever it goes to this mode. And let's go ahead and move this over and make this a flip-flop. So with doing this, whenever you're actually cycling your death animations, oh, sorry, sinuses. And we need to go mesh to here and hair to here. Turn it on, change our mesh back to get a reference to our player model. Damn, I don't actually have a variable set, because I need to do it in the save game. So we're just going to set it back to the Mail Explorer by default. So I need like a player current model. So in case you're doing something, and then look, there you go, hair's gone, we're a skeleton, and then we're back to our normal one. So when setting up a death animation and you want it to be cool, and we die, and then when we respawn, we come back as our regular player again. So the event of getting shot, we'll say, you're running through your map and everything's good, and then you run into that cannon. Boom. So run over here, we hit our respawn, our checkpoint. Over here, it gets shot. What we want to happen is, on 0 health, we want to change our skeletal mesh to the skeleton, and then respawn at that. So Let's go back over here. We'll do that, and then bang, it would turn us into a skeleton. We fall over dead, and then we respawn, and it turns us back into our regular character again, and now we can move. So that's what I'll end up doing. I like the idea of being able to have a unique death. Now, something like this is also could be set up for whenever you're doing a zombie game. Until the damn fools at Cinti Studios, love you guys, get the zombies pack on Unreal Engine 4. We don't have any zombies, so I had to put in the pirates pack just for the skeleton. I like the skeleton anyway. At some point, I'm going to actually take this one completely out of it and make it as a standalone for me to use, so that I can just, okay, I want a skeleton, I'll just bring it into that pack. I'll export out the model, the materials, the physics asset, and all that stuff just for this guy, so I can use it whenever I want to without installing the entire pirates pack just for this guy. Alright, take a break for a little bit. You guys give me a shout on Discord. Dead. And back to being human again. But some of these things can be used for doing other tricks. You know, change your skeletal mesh, and be good if you're just trying to get a sex change operation or whatever else too. So if you go to a different map and change that, or whatever. But if you got questions on setting up features and stuff, I'm just going to keep building features. I'm not even going to build a real map yet. I know this is just a test map to throw all the different features into. And I'll throw in like the spike trap will be in here somewhere, and the trap door with spikes and exploding barrels, and hell, I might make a Donkey Kong map or whatever. I don't know. You know, we'll just figure it out, and I'll figure it out as I go along. But one of the next things I need to do is actually break down and make an actual legitimate death sequence and go through and do all that. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is after I get back from taking a break, I'm going to come in and take all these cool things that I've got for death, like this guy that we just did, delete that. We're going to fix, so we're not trying to run off completely off of an event tick here. Event any damage, we'll take all that. We'll work that in all together to where this is all in a good, sensible manner. So we got this one right here. We don't need that. We've got all this stuff right here for respawn system. We don't need that. So I will come in here, and this is going to force me to come in here and do a full-on health and death system. So, and if you want me to stream that, let me know. I may stream it, may not. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. It's still early, so just want to take a break, get away from this for 5 minutes or so, let my brain refocus, get another cup of coffee, because this one has gotten really cold, and I like hot coffee. Hot coffee and cold women. Or wait a minute. No, I like them both hot. But, alright guys, we'll see you soon, and keep in touch.